and welcome everybody. Good to see some familiar faces, returning faces, and some new ones as well. Seeing as there are a few new people here, if you don't know me, my name is Ben. I have a spinal cord injury at the C7 level, and I've been in a wheelchair now for the last 13 years. Yeah, that's pretty much a short introduction for that part of it. You might tell from my accent that I'm not from America. I'm actually from the UK. But at the moment, if you didn't catch it in the beginning, I'm currently traveling around the world, and I'm in Romania currently on my adventures. So yeah, that's where I'm coming in from at the moment. As Liz said, during these sessions, do what you can. You don't need to worry about doing exactly how I'm doing it, but I'm going to be guiding you through each step of the way, and I'll show you how to make it easier, harder, adapting to yourself as you go along. So if you have any questions as we're going along, feel free just to butt in and then just say, hey, how could I do this or whatever, and I'm more than happy to help you as we go through the session. Any questions you do have that maybe might be a bit longer, feel free to send me an email, and I'll remind you about that at the end. You could do that via Liz on there. So yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of that stuff. A reminder again, if you have got a pole, towel, anything you can sort of hold in two hands, we'll be using that in a bit. If you don't have anything or you can't hold anything, that is not a problem at all. We're not going to use that just yet though. So if you put those to the side, we're going to start with our warm up here. So we're going to make sure we've got plenty of space around us. We're not going to hit anything or anyone. I'm in a little bit of a smaller space, so I might hit something today. And we're going to start by nice and gentle, moving our arm around in a circle the best you can. Now, if you can't get a full circle like this, just doing what you can. So if it's just a small one, just getting that arm moving in a nice, comfortable range of motion. So we're not trying to force anything here. We're just trying to get that joint moving, get that body moving, and get that blood pumping into the joints there. Good work. And yeah, I've already hit my hand a couple of times. So yeah, I'm in a little bit of a smaller space this time, but making it work. Nice. Okay, let's change the arms and go the opposite way now. So just same arm, opposite direction, moving that around. Nice and gentle and controlled. Let's change over to the other arm now. So again, moving it around in a circle. It doesn't matter if you can get more or less on one side or the other, just do the best you can on each side. It's absolutely fine. Remember, we've all got different ability levels, at different stages on our fitness journey, so don't worry that you can do more or less than the people on the screen or even myself. That's fine. It's what you've got that matters. So it's nice, gentle movements here, looking good. Okay, let's change direction with that arm now. So going the opposite way. Okay, so this next one's got a few different adaptations to it. So we can, if you can, reaching over the top and behind the head there, if you can there. If you can't get all the way over, just get to where you can, so to the near shoulder. Or if you find it easier, you can always come across the front instead. Essentially what we want to do is get some bend in that elbow there. So just work with what you've got in terms of your range of motion and ability. So either all the way over the top if you can, or as far as you can, like even to the near shoulder, or across the front. So that's your options there for that one. Again, that's fine if, you know, one side goes over absolutely fine, and then the other one you might have to do to the front. Whatever you need to do is good there. Okay, now we're going to take one arm. We're going to swing it behind us here, then forwards, up above the head, or at least as far as you can, then back down. So just swinging it up and through. I will go to the side so you can see it from the side. So coming down, up, swinging it down, swinging it up. Excellent, down. Excellent. So with this, if you can't raise it all the way up, like myself right here, we can just do what we can. So even if it's just small rocking motions, getting up a little bit higher, maybe just to where you can here, going through the best range of motion. This is getting those lats involved a little bit here as we bring them up, getting a little comfortable stretch in there. Let's change to the other arm. And these movements we're doing here, they're called dynamic stretches. So not really stretches, they're more like dynamic movements that involve a little bit of stretching. Essentially what we're doing is moving the muscles through a gentle range of motion, but also doing it in a way that the heart rate slightly elevates. That brings the body temperature up. And that's exactly what we need before we exercise. Okay, on to the next one. We are going to come in for a hug, arms out to the side, and then back and forth. And again, don't worry if you can't fully hug, even if it's just a small one, and then arms out, going through what you can here. And try and keep the arms elevated if you can, but if not, don't worry if your arms come down. That's absolutely fine. It's just about getting that movement in is the main thing here. Getting that core body temperature up, getting those joints moving the best we can. Looking good. Okay, now we're going to come into some shoulder rotations. Just rotating them around. We don't have to go for a full range of motion here, but just nice and gentle, circling it around. Might feel a little bit clunky in there. As long as it's not painful, that's fine. But if it feels a bit too uncomfortable, you can just back off that range of motion a little bit. And then let's change direction and go the other way. Give that a nice little shake off there. Good. Okay, so we're going to grab our poles next. And again, if you don't have a pole, not a problem, or whatever you're using instead. And we're going to go into similar to what we normally do, but we're going to extend it a little bit, and we're actually going to do it for 20 minutes a day. The first 10 minutes is exactly what we normally would do. The second 10 minutes I'll explain as we get there, but it's going to change slightly. So with this, seeing as we've got a bit of a mix of abilities here, let me just get the timer set ready. There you go. I'm just going to demonstrate a few of the exercises before we go into it, just so you've got a bit of an idea. So if you have a pole or a towel or that, and if you've been here before, you probably already know, but the movements we're going to do is stuff like kayaking, forwards, going backwards, pressing the hands forwards and up, maybe doing some punching, that kind of stuff. If you've got the pole, that's fine. I'll be demonstrating that. I will also demonstrate the alternatives. So it would be the same movements essentially, but you're going to just pretend you're holding something. So you'll do it without the pole there. So moving those arms around like so, forwards and up. It's very self-explanatory, punching forwards, whatever I show it for each one. Every minute we're going to change the exercise, and we're going to be going straight the way through this 20 minutes. If you do need a rest at any point, grab yourself a drink, all that kind of stuff, no problem. I'm not an army drill sergeant. I'm here to help you and guide you along the way. So you just do what you can do here. Pace-wise, we're going to do about 5 out of 10. Okay, so it's not hard, it's not easy, it's in the middle. kind of like a jog. Again, that's always a bad analogy comparing it to running speeds, but it's kind of like the equivalent of a jog. So it's nice, simple, easy, but not too easy in between the two. Cool. I'm going to stop talking now for that part, and I'm going to press play here. We're going to go in 10 seconds time. We're going to start with that kayaking forwards in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So just panning those hands forwards and rounds. Excellent stuff. I'm going to come to the side so you can see it from there as well. Just coming round like we are in a kayak there with those double paddles going through. Good stuff. Keep that moving. I just got to turn up my timer because it wasn't making any noise. As we come to halfway through this first minute here. Good. Keep it. Just shut across the room. Yeah, keeping those moving there. Nice work. So we've got 15 seconds to go. The next one is very simple. It's the same movement, but in the opposite direction.
10 seconds.
10 seconds to go with this one though. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So change direction, go the opposite way. Good stuff. Moving about all over the place. Good. So again, 5 out of 10 effort here. Not hard, not easy. Somewhere in between the two. Keep that moving. And at the moment, it should feel pretty easy. You know, it starts to get, with this, it starts to get a little bit, your heart rate will start to race as we go through the next couple of minutes. Your breathing will start to be a little bit heavier too. That's good. That's where we want to be
Halfway
with this.
there.
Good, keeping it going. We're just over halfway. We have got about 10 seconds here. On the next one, we are going to put both hands forwards at the same time, round in a circle. 3, 2, 1. So you come round, both hands forwards. And again, if you don't have a pole, you can do it without. So just keeping it moving there. Good. So this one I like to call it hand cycling. If you've ever been on one of those recumbent hand cycles, they've always got the handles in the same place, and that's the movement you do. So I call this hand cycling because it's different than like if you're pedaling with your feet on a regular bike, it's
Halfway
like
there.
that. But on a hand cycle, they're both together, so you can steer as well. So that's why I call it hand cycling anyway. So hand cycling forwards is the name I give this one. 20 seconds to go. And you may have guessed what's coming up. On the next one, it's the same movement, but in the opposite direction. But we've still got this one here for another 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
So keeping it moving, keeping that 5 out of 10 pace, looking good, keeping it nice and smooth. 3, 2, 1, change direction, keeping it moving. Good stuff. Try and keep a good range of motion as well. Sometimes it can be easy to come into like little ones. Try and keep good range of motion. You know, it doesn't have to be like massive circles, but you know, just try and keep it steady, keep it the same all the way through. Excellent work.
Halfway there.
We are halfway through this one. Seconds to go. Okay, we're going to keep on the circular theme, but instead of going this way, we are going to do a flat circle in front of us, and we are going to do it in a clockwise direction to begin with. And we're going to do that in 3, 2, 1. So we're going to come around in a circle in a clockwise direction. Everybody's picturing a clock in their head to make sure they know which way it is, because we spend too much time looking at digital clocks. So which way were these going again? Good work. So keeping it going in there. Good range of motion again.
Halfway there.
Halfway through. 20 seconds to go on this one. 10 seconds. And on the next one, we are going to go in the opposite direction again in 4, 3, 2, 1. Change of direction, keeping it moving. Good. And remember, we're staying at that 5 out of 10 here. Not hard, not easy, somewhere in between the two. And also remember, if you do need a rest at any point, that is not a problem. You can stop and then just join back in, or whatever you feel like. But I always say, just try and push yourself, whatever that looks like. You know, that's not always going to look the same for everybody.
Halfway there.
So just do what you can here. But this is still 5 out of 10. It's not hard. It's not easy. It's in between. Okay, 20 seconds to go. On the next one, we're going to go back to our boat bait sports, and we're going to go on to canoeing next. So it's slightly different to the kayaking.
10 seconds.
I want you to imagine you've got one oar that goes in the water, and we're going to paddle to the left, and that's in 3, 2, 1. So with the pole, you can go to the left here, like canoeing down. I always find it impressive when you see it at the Olympics and those guys are kneeling on it and they're always super muscly and super aggressive. And it's always fun to watch. If you don't have the pole, again, simulating that movement the best you can. So just imagine you've got that one pole going in, one paddle going into one side there. Good.
Halfway there.
Halfway through. And I always like to imagine I'm going down a river. Looks like Camilla's in a pond, so she's already in the right environment, which is good.
10 seconds.
10 seconds to go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Changing to the other side now, and then keeping it moving there. Your background in Hawaii last week would have been perfect for this. You could have been on those waves with your boat.
Halfway there.
Have you heard about Maui in Hawaii?
I only heard a brief amount about it. It feels like Romania doesn't have where the rest of the news is, so I have to go on like Twitter or X or whatever it's called now to find out news and stuff. So yeah, no, I only heard a brief amount.
10 seconds.
10 seconds to go. On this next one, we are going to do forwards and up. 3, 2, 1. So go both hands forwards, both hands up. Feel free to enlighten me about what's happening. I don't know.
Well, I found out last night. I was just YouTubing and they talked about fires in paradise. And I thought, oh, volcanoes. And I guess Hawaii isn't escaping it either. They're losing houses and everything. Maui.
Halfway there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. I thought that was paradise, but they're with us now.
That's quite scary, all that stuff. Okay, we've got 15 seconds left on this one. And on the next
10
one,
seconds.
we are going to do the one called down, down, forwards, forwards, up, up, which works our brain a little bit at the same time. 3, 2, 1. So arm goes one down, the other down, forwards, forwards, up, up. Or at least the best you can. Down, down, forwards, forwards, up, up. That's with the pole. Without the pole, it's the same, but we're just going to do the punching. So it's down, down, forwards, forwards, up, up. Repeating through that. Don't worry if you get confused on this. I sometimes do too, and pretty much everybody does. Just go through it. Just work the brain at the same time as the body. Good work. Okay, so we have come through to number 10 here. On the next 10, we are going to change it a bit and we're going to do the same exercises, but the first 10 seconds of each, I want you to go as fast as you can, okay? So you go back to the kayaking again, the first one we
10
did.
seconds.
We're going to do 10 seconds as fast as you can, and then we're going to do 50 seconds back at that 5 out of 10. 3, 2, 1. So paddling around as fast as you can here, keeping those arms moving with or without the pole. Really good stuff. 3, 2, 1, and then back down to that 5 out of 10 pace. Good. So it's just that little burst of speed at the beginning. Keep those arms moving now at that 5 out of 10 pace. Good work, everybody. So it's just a little burst of speed, just to pick up that heart rate a little bit. Okay.
Halfway there.
Halfway through this first minute of this 10, looking good. Again, I'll just remind you, if you need to take a break at any point, feel free to do so. Join back in whenever you're ready. If you need a drink, you know, it's absolutely fine to do that.
10 seconds.
We've got 10 seconds to go on this one. We're going to go into the paddling backwards. Remember, the first 10 seconds is as fast as you can. 3, 2, 1. Going backwards now. Again, as fast as you can here. Good work. 3, 2, 1. Resting. Well, coming back down at the pace there. Back down to 5 out of 10 and keeping it moving. Good. Okay, we're going to keep that theme continuing there through the remainder of these. And I'll remind you what exercise we're doing a little bit earlier on each one, so you can get yourself mentally
Halfway
prepared
there.
for each one. So make sure that first 10 seconds is as fast as you can, or as best you can. And don't worry if it doesn't look as fast as what I'm going, or I know other people definitely go faster than what I do. Just go what you can, the fastest pace you can move at. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is that hand cycling forward. So it would be the double arm
10
forward.
seconds.
10 seconds to go. And we're going to go fast as we can in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So both hands forwards, around in a circle. Looking good, everybody. Keeping it moving. Keeping that pace up. 3, 2, 1. Bringing it back down to 5 out of 10. Good. Excellent work, everybody. Yeah, a little bit warmer here, so I'm just going to ask my wife, who's just over there, to put on the aircon, but she's got headphones on, so she's got
Halfway there.
keep it on the aircon. Thank you. It's getting quite warm in here. Okay, we've got 20 seconds to go. And we are going to go into fast as we can, but going backwards next in 10 seconds time.
10 seconds.
So ready to pick up that pace in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Going backwards, off we go. That's it. Well done, everybody. 3, 2, 1. Bringing it back down to 5 out of 10. Good stuff. Looking good. Keeping it moving there. I'm just adjusting my chair. Okay, so we've got 30 seconds
Halfway there.
left on this exercise at this pace. And then on the next one, we're going to do those circles in a clockwise direction. And again, 10 seconds fast at the beginning, 50 seconds at 5 out of 10 effort. Okay, we have got 10
10
seconds before we're going fast. Circles in a clockwise direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowing it back down to 5 out of 10. Good work, everybody. So definitely by now we should be feeling warmer, maybe breathing a bit heavier, maybe some more than others. That's absolutely fine. If you have the ability to sweat, you might be sweating a little bit.
Halfway there.
Halfway through. Good work. Okay, so we're going to go in anti-clockwise direction next in 15 seconds. Again, fast as we can for that first
10
10
seconds.
10 seconds to go before we move into it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Anti-clockwise, fast as you can. Keeping it moving there. Keeping those arms going. Good work. 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing it back down to 5 out of 10. Excellent work, everybody. So we've got 4 more to go here. On the next one, we are going to be doing the canoeing down to the left side. If you want to for this one, because
Halfway there.
it takes a second to move from one to the other, you can just start the canoeing before we move into that 10 seconds fast, so you're in position. So we've got about 15 seconds to go.
10 seconds.
10 seconds here. So we can start to move into the position we need for the canoeing here. We're going 3, 2, 1, and then as fast as you can. 10 seconds here. Good work, everybody, keeping it moving. And 3, 2, 1, back down to 5 out of 10. Excellent work. Okay, halfway through this one.
Halfway there.
Got
10
10 seconds
seconds.
to go. On this one, feel free to switch to the other side a bit early. And we're going in 3, 2, 1, as fast as we can on the right side. Off we go. Good work, keeping it moving. 3, 2, 1. Look, bringing it back down to 5 out of 10 there. Good work, everybody.
Halfway there.
Halfway through. Good work. Okay, so the next one we're going on to is the double arm forwards and then double arm up. Remember, with both hands forwards, then both hands up. That'll be the next one. With or without the pole. And we're going here in 10
10
seconds time. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go as fast as we can. Forwards, up, forwards, up. And bringing it back down. Sorry, I didn't count you down on that one. I was in the zone. Bringing it back down to that 5 out of 10. Good work, everybody. So we've got one more to go after this one, which is that down, down, forward, forward,
Halfway there.
up. And I will demonstrate that again. So remember, it's down, down, forwards, forwards, up, up. That'll be the last one we do here in 20 seconds time.
Seconds.
10 seconds left of this one. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Down, down,
Last
forwards, forwards, up, up. Just keep going as fast as you can. Don't worry if you get confused or your arms are flailing. Excellent work. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back down again. Bringing it all the way to the end here. We've got 30 seconds to go at this 5 out of 10 effort. 15 seconds to go here. Keeping those arms moving all the way
10
through to the end,
seconds.
keeping that 5 out of 10 pace. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good. Okay. We will still need our poles or whatever you're using, or nothing at all. So if you have got something, just pop it to the side for a sec. So we won't need that the next bit. Grab yourself a drink if you need one. If you don't have a drink with you, I always recommend bringing one to the session. It's always a good idea. And I will get that ready for the next bit there. Well, actually, I don't need it. Cool. Okay. Good job so far, everybody. That was a little bit more extended than what we normally do. So that type of training is called low intensity steady state training, or LISS for short. So LISS. And the idea of that is to basically get your heart rate to a certain point and then try and hold it there for an extended period of time. And that period of time was about 20 minutes for us there. Maybe a little bit less because it takes time to get up to the heart rate. But the longer you stay in those sort of periods, that's a really good place for building our cardiovascular endurance. That's really good for keeping our heart and our lungs nice and healthy, which is going to help us in the long run in terms of being able to fight off illnesses, also be able to do stuff like on a more regular basis with more energy. So that's the sort of stuff we want to be doing there for us. So good. That was really good so far. We're going to do a little bit of core work here now. We're going to be just doing some sets and reps. So normally we do like based on time, but we're just going to do it based on repetitions today. Now for this one, we're going to do a little bit of movement in our side to side here. I just want you to do the best you can. So I'm just going to demonstrate it first. So the first one we're going to do is we'll bend down to one side, and then we're going to try and use that core there to pull ourselves back up, and then back to, and then we're going to go down to the other side and then pull ourselves up. So that's kind of the exercise we are doing there. If you feel comfortable with doing that right away, carry on. I'm just going to show you a few more things that you can do to help you. So if you're leaning down, you can always use the other hand just to balance you a little bit. And then you can always use that to help assist with that pull up if you haven't got as much in the term in terms of the core there. So you can come up, try and use as much of that core as you can, but you can always use that hand to assist and even to stop yourself from falling all the way out as well, which I have done before. So pulling yourselves up using those oblique muscles on the side there, just moving through that the best you can. Good work. And you're just going to keep going here and do the reps here. So I'm going to be counting the amount of reps for me, and you're going to do what you can in that same time frame, essentially. So, because otherwise we're all going to be at different levels. It takes us a different amount of time to do. So keep moving it side to side there. If you do find it a little bit too easy, you can always remember come away from that backrest. So you just sit yourself in the chair forwards more, and then that will mean that you've got less to rely on as you bend down to the side. For me, because being quad, there's not much going on in the core department, I use the curve in my backrest to assist me a little bit. And occasionally I use that hand, I'll show you here. So I use that hand just to maybe just assist on pulling back up. It all depends on how I feel that day, how many reps I've already done. Good, and then we're going to rest there. On the next one, we're going to do the bending forwards one. So again, a couple of options here. If you're able to just come down and then lift yourself back up, absolutely fine. If you need that assistance, remember you can have your hands on the lap, coming down, and then you can assist with the pushing, like almost like fingertip it up if you can, or if you need a full-on assistance to bring yourself back up, just try and engage those back muscles as you pull yourself up. So that's the one we're going to go through now. Even if it's small movements, I'm just going to go between curling the spine over and then sitting up straight. So small movements even is a fantastic thing to do here, the best you can. And again, you can use those hands for assistance, or if you don't need to. So that's how we can adjust it there. If you do need to make it harder, I don't know how capable you guys are today or that, but we can always put the hands out further in front of us. So the further they are away from our body forwards, how hard that's going to be. So yeah, if you did like a streamlined position, that'd be. I can't get out from there. So it sort of tells you sort of how it makes it harder by putting those hands out further in front of you if you require so. Yeah, and we're going to still go through these reps here. So you just guys keep going with this. Try and use as much as that lower back as you can. You need the assistance, come in with the hands on the wheels, on your lap, on your armrest, whatever it may be, if you need to do it. So this next one, we're going to add a little bit of a twist in. So we are going to go, we're going to have our hands down at one side. We're going to bring them up and across to the other side and then back down. And what I want you to do is what we've said on the other core ones before, is your arms are coming along for the ride, essentially. So you're trying to move your arms using your core. So you come in, bend forwards here, and then as you bring it up, extend it up out to the side. And if you get it right, if you could feel in this sort of area, you'll feel like that spine moving, you'll feel that core working. And you'll have little T-Rex arms as you do it, but that's absolutely fine. Because we're not focused on moving the arms so much, we're focused on moving the core. So we just do one side and keep going through that one. I'll tell you when to switch over. So what we're using here is the lower back in conjunction with the obliques, and as we pull it up and twist it, what happens is it's twisting through that motion, and that's really going to help us with our spine stability. These are the muscles here that assist with keeping that spine nice and strong, nice and stable, and nice and mobile too. Good. Okay, let's switch to the other side now. So just come down to the other side to what you're doing, and then up and across. And if you feel like it's not quite engaging that core, really try and focus on moving using that core. So I like to, actually properly bend forwards when I'm coming down. And as I'm coming up, I like to pull my shoulders up rather than my arms, if that makes sense. Good work. Okay, so we are resting there for a little bit. If you need a drink, grab yourself a drink. We are going to go into another bit of cardio work here, and then we're going to go into the recovery. So this is the last bit of hard work that we're going to do. We're going to do a slightly extended recovery because today's session has been more like keeping on top of it. No, there's no rest periods and all that kind of stuff that we would usually do. So yeah, we're going to keep on top of it here. And if you've got your pole, you can grab your pole again. Or if you haven't got a pole, don't grab one. Or whatever you've got instead. Okay. So this one is one of my favorite kind of workouts. It's called a pyramid set, which sends shivers down some people's spines if they've done it before, or excitement. I don't know. It depends what you're into. But for this, what we're going to do is go through two different motions. And what we're going to do is one of each, and then we're going to go to 2 of each, 3 of each, 4 of each, 5 of each, all the way up to 10, and then all the way back down to 1. We're all going to do it together here. So I'll be counting along the way. It's a lot of counting for me, going up to 10. For this, basically, I'll show you the first couple, and then we'll start again all together. So how it'll go is we push both hands forwards. That's 1, and then 1 above the head, and then we go 1, 2, and then 1, 2, and then it'll be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we will do that We'll keep going. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, all the way up to 10. Once we reach 10, we're at the top of the pyramid. And then we're going to work our way all the way back down to 1. Can be quite intense, this workout. Do the best you can. I'm going to be counting along the way. If you feel like you can't keep up with the pace, just do the best you can here. If you need to take a break and then join back in whenever you're ready, that is absolutely fine. But if you're ready, we're going to get going. I'll give you a little second to make sure everybody's prepared. Looks like you are. Good. Okay, so we're going to start here. Ready? Off we go. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Good work. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now on to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now 10 at the top of the period. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back down to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good work. Keep digging deep, guys. 8 now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last few ones here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. Done. Excellent work, everybody. That is our last bit of hard work. So be sure to get yourself a drink now for sure, if you've got one. And then when you're ready to, we can start with our breathing. So I need to get my breath back.
Well, you sounded
Yeah.
like a dance instructor before, like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Yeah. Well, if I always say, if you think the workouts are hard, try counting it out loud as you're doing. But I need to catch my breath, but I need to count at the same time. So, okay, very good work though. When you're ready to, we're going to start to relax now. So just start breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, the best you can here. Try if you can to extend the out breath to be longer than the in breath. Okay, so nice, gentle, long breathing, and just going to calm that nervous system back down. Catch hold of that breath again, because it's kind of gets away from us a little bit during those sort of workouts. So just bringing it back in there. On each breath here, what you're doing is just relaxing down. You can probably feel each time you breathe, it just comes down that level, just that little bit, and you start to come in control of the breath more. The heart rate comes down. What we're essentially doing here is tricking our brain, telling it that everything is okay. Everything is okay. Our body thinks it's not because we just exercise really hard. So what happens is we go into our fight or flight mode when we're exercising. Adrenaline goes up if we're able to supply that to our body. All the energy levels go up, all the excitement, the eyes widen, and all that kind of stuff. When we are going into the breathing, what it does is tell our body, oh, we don't need to run away from the saber-toothed tiger anymore. We can start to relax, we can start to breathe, and it means that, oh, everything's fine, because it would be if you're breathing heavily. So it's a really good way to relax after a session. Also, a really good time if you're having any anxiety or panic attacks, and that deep breathing really does assist. Even if it's a small amount, it does really assist. So just keep that going there a little bit longer. Okay, so we're just going to go through some really simple movements here. We're going to start with looking down, then looking up, and just going to glide between looking down and looking up, nice and gentle, nice and controlled. No need to complicate it here, no need to stretch it too far, just nice, gentle movements. I always say with this and the other movements we're going to do, that just getting the movement in is like 90%, 95% of the job. Getting good range of motion is just that extra little bit. So the movement itself is the important thing to get through a good range of motion, or the best you can at least, as long as it's pain-free. And then, so don't worry about how far you can go. It's just about doing it is the main thing. Okay, next one, we're going to rotate from side to side. So look over one shoulder and then rotate around to the other, back and forth between the two. These are movements that I do as often as I can. Usually, the often as I can is once a day, because that's all I remember. But once a day is a good amount to do it. Really quick little movements in the neck and the rest of the spine that we'll be going through as we go into the next one, which we're going to bring ear to one shoulder, ear to the other shoulder. And we're just taking that neck and the vertebrae through its natural range of motion. When we looked down, that was flexion. When we looked up, that was extension. Rotations, where we look side to side. And then this one is lateral flexion. So that's our 4 different movements that the vertebrae are capable of. But it's very likely that with our modern lives on computers, in wheelchairs, sitting down all day, or just sitting down, not in a wheelchair as well, we tend not to move our head quite as much. So it's good just to take it through that range. Okay, let's go through the rest of our spine. There's some adaptations for this one. So if you hang on, if you can't do the first bit, that's fine. You can watch the next one. So we're going to curl over forwards. That's the flexion, and then extend through that. That's the extension there. Flexion where we come down. So flexion, extension. Now, if you can't pull yourself through like this, you can't curl over. You can use the backrest to assist. So you can just sit up nice and straight, best you can, and then curling forwards. Trying to get the movement in the shoulders there is a really good indication of whether you're curling over or not. And you can use those hands to assist on your lap, on your wheels, on your armrests, whatever it may be. But if you can pull yourself through, that just gets that little bit more extension in. And this is the same as when we look down and look up, except for it's through the rest of the vertebrae. Now, these vertebrae aren't as movable as the ones in the cervical, the C-spine up here. So these buttons are much more maneuverable, but less stable. Then we've got sort of in the middle, which is the lumbar, which we're doing quite a bit of here. Sorry, again, all sorts of confused. The thoracic spine, which is the middle bit, that's sort of in between. So it's slightly mobile, and slightly stable, and then the lumbar spine at the bottom is pure stability with a little bit of movement. So that's kind of like it goes from more movement, less stability, down to more stability, less movement as we go down through the spine. Next one, we're going to go into rotation. So rotate from one side around to the other. You can use your arms to assist here, just to help pull you around. Just nice and gentle, going between one and the other. There. Good work, everybody. Good. We're going to go into the next one here, which is the lateral flexion. So the same as bringing the ear down to the shoulder, but we're going to bring our body down instead. So we're going to reach down to the side, similar to when we're doing those core exercises, but we will assist here just to get you into that position. If you can't reach all the way down to the floor, that is not a problem. I've explained it before. I've got freakishly long arms, so it's very easy for me to touch the floor. If you just bend the best you can here, even small movements is good. And as I said, getting the movement in here is more important than how far you go. So just getting some of that lateral flexion in there. Cool. So that's the 4 movements. We're just going to do one more movement of the spine, which kind of combines a couple of them together, which is coming around as if we're in a whirlpool. And this just sort of gets all the bits in between, really, and just finishes off these movements nicely here. So keep going around there. Let's change direction and go the opposite way. Bring it around, sitting up nice and straight again, giving a nice little shake off as we finish there for today. Really good job, everybody. That was, it's a long session in terms of we didn't have many breaks. Often we do the 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Pretty much straight the way through on that one today. So really good job. And yeah, it looks like you're handling it well, which is excellent. That's what I like to see. Let's keep it going for next week. Good work, everyone.